How do snakes move without legs? Movement in its simplest form means getting from point A to point B. For this to happen, there needs to be a means of movement, such as feet, limbs, or even wheels. But when it comes to creatures like snakes, the rules of movement become mysterious. How does this strange creature move? Snakes don't have legs or any limbs to aid their movement, yet we see them moving, sometimes at great speeds. They can climb trees, overcome obstacles, and even, in some cases, leap into the air at significant heights. So, how do they manage to do all this without legs? What is the hidden mechanism they use to move from one place to another? Snakes are cold-blooded reptiles found on almost every continent except extremely cold regions. Their bodies are covered entirely in scales, and they have no limbs, eyelids, or external ears. However, they possess an incredibly powerful weapon, which is the key to their survival in the wild: their muscles. Snake muscles make up nearly 100% of their body mass. For comparison, the human body contains around 700 to 800 muscles. Even the smallest snakes, measuring only a few centimeters, have between 10,000 and 15,000 muscles. This is the secret behind their remarkable flexibility and strength. To grasp the power of snake muscles, you only need to watch a snake constrict its prey. The grip is so tight and strong that it's almost impossible for most prey to escape, regardless of their strength. Inside the snake's body is a unique skeletal system made up of connected vertebrae, extending from the head to the tail. The number of vertebrae ranges between 100 and 450 in the body and an additional 10 to 205 in the tail. Each vertebra is connected to two pairs of ribs. For example, an Australian python has over 600 interconnected vertebrae, making snakes the animals with the most vertebrae of any creature. One fascinating feature of the snake's spine is that each vertebra isn't connected to its neighboring one at a single fixed point. Instead, they're linked at 5 different points, forming ball and socket joints, ridges, and articulating surfaces both above and below. This setup allows the snake's spine to bend in any direction without suffering injuries or dislocations. All these components are protected by the tough yet flexible scales that cover the snake's body. The secret to snake movement lies in three main factors: their muscles, the flexibility of their spine, and their scales. Snakes primarily use 4 different movement methods, depending on their environment and circumstances. Straight line movement. In this method, snakes rely on their belly scales, which act like hooks to grip the ground. The snake presses its entire belly against the surface and pushes forward in a straight line using its muscles. The spine remains almost completely rigid during this motion. This is the simplest and slowest form of movement, often used in narrow spaces like burrows or on thin surfaces. Concertina movement. This resembles the movement of an earthworm. The snake anchors the front part of its body, pulls the rest of its body toward it, and then extends forward. It repeats this process, much like an accordion. Serpentine movement. This is the most common form of snake movement. The snake creates a series of S-shaped waves with its body, bending its muscles rapidly from side to side. These waves push against the ground, propelling the snake forward. This method allows snakes to reach speeds of up to 30 kilometers per hour and is also used for swimming. Sidewinding. This unusual method is used by snakes in sandy or loose soil environments. The snake lifts parts of its body off the ground and moves in a sideways jumping motion, touching the surface at only 3 points: the head, tail, and one middle point. This technique minimizes contact with the hot or loose surface and is common among desert-dwelling snakes like the horned viper. Although snakes can seem scary or dangerous, they play a vital role in maintaining ecological balance. They control populations of pests, like rats and mice, while also serving as prey for larger animals. Without snakes, ecosystems could face significant disruptions.